Hi, welcome to Shelly's Studio. Today I'm doing some jelly printing. This one is actually out of order because I thought the colors were appropriate for Valentines, so I wanted to get this one out there. And since I normally upload on Saturday, it is now Friday night late, and I'm hoping I will get this voiceover done in time for it to show up on Saturday. So I have a photo for inspiration, but it's not mine, so I can't just put it up there. But it's basically looks like a spring scene. It's got a table in a garden with a bouquet of flowers and a heart popping out of it, and then there's a hat sitting to the side with a ribbon on it. Anyway, so that's my inspiration, and I had this flower mask from Joggles, so I thought I would use that as the basis. And I've been watching PM Artist Studios, if you know who they are. They make stencils. I haven't bought any yet, don't tell anybody. I want to, I just haven't gotten on there. And I keep watching their videos and they keep adding new stencils. I'm like, well, if I order now, am I going to miss one? Anyway, Patricia has been doing where she keeps the stencil in the same place. Yeah, you saw that just lift up. I tried to line it back up. And then she takes repeated pulls from the stencil. And it has a really interesting, each individual pull has an interesting effect. She's using Yupo. I'm using a plastic stencil, which it's not exactly the same effect, but it's kind of, sort of. I like this blue one. Looks kind of cool, doesn't it? It lifted a little bit of the previous stuff on there. But the idea is to get a lot of buildup around the edges. I mean, you want to take out as much as possible, but just get some variety of buildup around the edges. Yeah, that happened. It's old paint. I didn't shake it up enough. I did end up using it, and as you can see, the stencil is offset again. I don't know if I noticed it or just didn't care. But I had to switch memory cards here real quick on my camera, so it kind of cut that out. And looking back at this, I'm like, why didn't I just leave that blue one? I liked that blue one. Don't like that one so much anymore. But the idea is that's just collage fodder. This is the project. So now I'm using this rose. It's from the Hippie Crafter. I have some Hippie Crafter paint. And I'm going to put this down. And then I put the paper down, give it a good massage, and I leave it till it's no longer wet. And I've edited that. So you feel it, and you can tell when it's not cold and damp anymore. And then it should pull everything up. And it got everything but that corner. And I thought that was really interesting that you could see the turquoise in some of the places. So I'm going to attempt it again. This time I'm starting with a light pink rather than the brown, just to see what will happen. Again, same stencil or mask, and just repeatedly using that paper. Eventually it'll have so much stuff on it, it won't matter anymore. And it's just scrap paper, so yeah, not a fan of that yet. Alright, so now I'm going to put down it says it's teal. I think it said it's teal. But it looks very blue on camera. And just working it in, trying not to move the stencil, but it's kind of sticky, so it's sticking to the paper a little bit and lifting, so I have to be careful when I pull it up. And maybe I'm massaging it too long. So I just want to make sure I'm getting everywhere, you know? There we go, that came up. That's a little interesting. And that's the pink that was all separated before. Still a little runny and transparent. And I'm just using that same piece over again. It dries enough in between. It's pretty dry here, so I'm giving it a good massage. You can tell it's very moist. That one was pretty wet. And this time I'm going to put brown on here near the end to give it, I don't know, I was thinking to get the ridges in there kind of dark. I think that's what my thought process was. And one more massage. I did try my new Baron, and I don't like using it when there's a stencil down because I can feel the paper and the stencil separating, and I don't want it to shift. So I've taken to not using it with the stencil down. But I do use it when I don't have a stencil down. I'm trying to pull the whole thing. So, but I do like it. It's just maybe it's just me. It just feels like it's moving, like the stencil's moving or the paper's shifting or buckling. So maybe when I get better at it. All right, so this is going to be the one pull. This is still a practice one. We don't have the hat in there or the heart. And did I say in the beginning this one is out of order from my other jelly prints because this one fit for Valentines. Should come out before then. I hope you all have a wonderful Valentine's. I sometimes have referred to it as Single Awareness Day. Sorry, that's out of focus. I don't know why. I could have swore when I was putting it together it was in focus. But I apologize for that. It's bad when, it's kind of a one and done. And you don't know it's not in focus. I wonder if I could hook my camera up to a monitor so it sits in front of me and I could see what it sees. There's probably a way to do that. I just need to figure it out. I have several spare monitors around here. So I just decided that ugly one that's been lifting all the different prints needed something. So I figured I would cover it with, blue because I like blue. And I needed a cleaner piece of paper for my Brayer. Yes. I know I have a Utah accent. So we're going to try and lift that up, and I don't know what I'll do with that piece of paper, but it can be torn up for collage. I say that. I don't do much collaging. I like to gel print. Oh, and look, we're back in focus. Yay. That's interesting, right? Flowers with triangles. Okay. Moving on. Alright. So, this one is the final one. The piece de resistance. We've had our practice, right? So, we're going to do it. So, I decided the hat. We would have some texture representing the hat. So I don't even know what this was. It might have been a round mattress. I don't know. I've had it for a while. I thought it was interesting when I got it and hadn't tried it out yet. Alright, so I want to preserve that spot. So I I'm putting a circle. That's the hat, right? So now, since it's not going to stick to it because, you know, there's paint down there, I've got my little thing of paint on there. Hopefully it won't shift too much on me. Now we're going to put the stencil down in there and pull that first one. So there should be some light pink underneath all those outlines of the flowers, right? That's the theory. Okay, so I took the first layer. And I'll be doing enough that it should get most of the texture out from inside the flowers. That's the hope. And just leave some random textures around. So now I'm adding that blue. I really liked the little hint of blue around the flowers, so that color is staying. And that paper is just like soaking it up, so I'm trying to get all the areas with the blue. I'm going to take that same paper, give it a good massage. Alright, so I've pulled up the blue. Pardon my cough. I'm going for a darker pink. I don't even know what color that says it is. It's still pretty juicy. And then using the same piece of paper, I'm going to pull that up. Trying to make sure I go around all the edges. Okay, so there's that layer. I'm wanting it to dry a little bit. I just took the one I just did and put it down, thought maybe I'd pick something up. Really didn't pick anything up, so I think it's dry. That's how it is here. It dries fairly quickly. Alright. Now I'm thinking, what do I need to do next? Taking a peek, seeing what it looks like. Okay, so I let it dry, and then I decided there's some stencil leaf patterns, there's leaf patterns in this mask slash stencil. So I'm just taking a bit of the green and going over those patterns. They actually look kind of cool on the finished print, I think. So I'm just looking to where I don't want to put it in the middle of a flower and get us all confused, right? And for some variation, I'm grabbing some dark, just in case it might show up. Decided I needed more after I wiped my finger clean. Like, I think those might be leaf spots. We'll pretend they are. So there's no stencil or mask indicating leaves. I'm just putting some there. Alright, so they are dry when I'm putting this layer down. This is the rose from the Hippie Crafter. So I've got that down. Give me a good pink background. Now I'm taking off my circular mask and I'm going to cut out a heart. So that one exceeded the dimensions I wanted, so I'm going to cut it a little bit smaller. Check it out. Okay, that works. And then I didn't want it to take up the whole space, so I am making a heart outline. There we go. Okay, now the hat was kind of a tan color, but I felt like this brown, this light brown, would work, and I used it in one of the layers of the flowers, even though I don't think you can really tell in the end. And I'm just putting it on with my fingers. That purple, the rose color is still wet. Figured I could do this while that was drying. Need a little bit more. I didn't go quite to the edge of the masked area. I should have. You'll see on the print that it's kind of light around the edges, but you'll see in the photos at the end that it's dark all the way to the edges. I actually put a colored pencil to it, just to make it go all the way to the edge. And it works. Okay, so I put the heart down, let it dry for the most part. There's a few areas that's still a little damp, but I didn't want to wait any longer. And it lifted unevenly, so, and I didn't want the heart area to be white, so I'm clearing that out so it'll be nice and smooth edges. Just with a damp Q-tip, and it's coming off just fine, just like that. Yep, that's still wet. Let's get it dry. Come on, dry. Okay, now it's dry. I'm back. So I want the heart to be pink, so I'm putting pink over that area and then white over the rest. And it'll kind of blend together, but yeah, it works. It works. I thought it would be kind of ombre, but I don't think you can really tell that. Alright. So I put it on there, and this time I'm rubbing really good, making sure I get all my edges. Like the first print I pulled, that corner was completely missing. So I make sure I get all my corners. Give it a good massage, and then walk away and let it dry. So here I am coming back. I'm just going over that again just to make sure I crack all the edges. And here is the final piece. So there it is, and we'll just go through what we created. So that was fun. Here's kind of what I have. I could probably collage that. Heck, I could probably collage that onto there. And I don't know, could become a Christmas Valentine's card or something. I don't really send out Valentines, but I could. It's probably something I should start doing because that was fun. This was a fun session. This one just got really kind of ugly, so I went over it with that teal and some white, and that improved it. I don't know what I'm going to do with this, but you know. And then these were just ones to set the stage for the final. Pulling up colors. I might have mentioned it earlier, I did the paint stacking thing that PM Artist Studios has been doing lately. Patricia, anyway. And so you get multiple pulls of the same image and leave layers of color, which is kind of cool. I needed brown in there. I wanted some dark. I wanted some dark for this, so I thought brown would work. And then that's when I pulled up all the different layers, and you can see them. If you look closely, you can see the colors. I'll do pictures at the end, so you'll get maybe closer detail of each of these, so you can see what I'm looking at. I know it's not very good with my camera that doesn't get any closer. And this was the second one I did. Really trying to get that turquoise in there because I really liked it. And then the final piece based off of what I did there is this one. And is this not cool? I mean, I may go in with a little bit of, I don't know, a little bit of brown pencil maybe, or something to like darken, make that heart show up a little bit more, and maybe define the edges around the circle. But I really like how this turned out. I hope you liked this video. I hope it inspired you. And thank you all for watching. Give it a thumbs up. Leave me a comment. Love to hear your comments. And have an awesome day. Okay, here's the photo montage. I included that one. And here's the close-ups. You can see a little bit of that teal. It looks very greenish dark in these pictures. And here you can see I put brown around the edge, and I did a little white around the heart just to make it stand out just a little bit more. If you like this, give it a thumbs up. Thank you all for watching.